what to consider before purchasing or implementing your CAFM solution. Think about your target outcomes first. Have you engaged all layers of your organization, from the exec layer, operational management, to the end users and the operatives who will be using the system on a day-to-day basis? And lastly, think about your organization's strategic vision. Is this solution or the outcomes of it linked in any way, shape or form to it? And if it isn't, then ask the question, why not? It's important because you get a single thread through the entirety of the organization, from the end users, operatives, through operational management, all the way up to the exec layer, having a shared vision of outcomes and goals for the organization's short to medium and even to long-term future. It reduces the chances of scope creep, and it increases a buy-in of that vision. Reduced touch points in the purchase order, invoicing and payment process, increasing bandwidth of the finance team by circa 8 hours per week. With that outcome, you get two benefits. Firstly, it gives you the focus to think about what outputs do we need in order to achieve that outcome. Secondly, it also makes you think about the metrics you need in order to measure your ROI. So we've got 4 outputs here. We've got purchase orders of less than X amount of pounds automatically approved. Batch invoice approval, where invoice value is equal to or less than the purchase order value. Create and implement an accounts payable finance system. That will absolutely reduce touch points, for sure. Only invoices which are more than Y pounds are escalated for approval by certain parties. Forming considerations, user stories, and activities from your outputs. Okay, so we have some example considerations in achieving one of the outputs. First one, user security profiles will need to be set to mark levels of respective approval, e.g. financial controller, finance director, etc., and their associated approval thresholds. So think about the outcome of reducing the touch points. Okay, there could be some invoices which, if it has the relevant information attributed to it and it's below a certain threshold, they may just go straight through and be auto approved. There could be other ones, however, which are at a different level, which needs to move on to a different role within the finance team for their review and approval. So that's what that consideration is about. Can the person who raised the order approve the same invoice? And equally, if you've raised the order, can you approve the order as well? It's very important from a compliance perspective, that one. Is a separate awaiting invoice approval or even a second tab required for clear delineation in the system? This one is more geared towards the help desk manager, facilities manager, or whoever is managing the help desk. They're not going to be going down into the low level to find out where the job is in terms of the invoice, but they'll want to see whereabouts it is in the journey. So that'll be hugely beneficial. If they've got that, if it's been sat there for a while, they can go chase the finance team to find out what the issue is. And lastly, should the approver only see their invoices for approval when they log in? So of course, that would reduce touch points because they're just focused on what they need to approve. And of course, a big benefit of that is they're going to be laser focused on what it is that they need to approve. Now this part is where it branches off depending on what you are looking to do. Are you looking to purchase your CAFM system, or have you already purchased your CAFM system and looking to implement it in the right way? Okay, so you've got all of your considerations now for all of your outputs linked to all of your outcomes. So what happens now? Let's focus on purchasing your CAFM system. We can flip those considerations into user stories. By doing that, then the team can review those user stories and using Moscow, must, should, could, won't, establish the priority. What that will do then is that will allow you to put that together into a comprehensive tender document which CAFM providers need to review and give their answers to then allow you to form a good educated opinion on which CAFM provider is going to be best for you and who is going to be more likely to help you achieve your outcomes. It also works the other way if you've already purchased your CAFM system. Instead of flipping considerations into user stories, flip them into activities. So as an example, if you look at the top activity, if you remember that consideration about the security profile, you have create security profiles for respective finance team roles and their associated approval thresholds. That is a nice, strong activity there. Restrict users from approving their own purchase order. So they've moved from something which is a little bit, not too sure about this one, into a definitive statement of what you're going to do to achieve the output. So there you have it. Outcomes first.